So you're thinking of going vegan, but what films to watch? There are loads of documentaries. Hi, Vin.
Hi, Phil. That wasn't fake at all. I've worn my proper vintage shirt for you today. Look at the size of those collars. This is officially a 1970s vintage shirt.
I really like it. It's quite...
And it smells.
It's quite loud. There's a lot going on.
I bought it for Vin's Night In, the 9th anniversary. And I wore it with a blue waistcoat and an orange tie, and I looked like a senior steward on an EasyJet flight. It wasn't quite the look I was going for, but
you didn't wear it, or you did wear it?
No, I did wear it.
You
yeah.
did.
There's footage of me wearing it.
We're publishing daily videos to help people that are new to veganism.
Is it an episode?
It can be an episode.
I think it should be.
Yeah,
I'm veganing again. Veganing! It's becoming a thing. What are we going to talk about today, Phil?
So we're going to talk about documentaries.
Yeah.
A lot of vegans, and we were talking about this with Declan at the Spread Eagle, a lot of vegans don't like...
What's the Spread Eagle, Phil?
The Spread Eagle is the best vegan pub in London. In fact, it is the first 100% vegan pub in London.
Do you know what? They do the best breakfast as well.
They do amazing food.
We had an episode about breakfast, didn't we?
Yeah.
And actually, if you can't be bothered to do all that, just go to the Spread Eagle.
Yeah.
If you live in London.
And the link is up there to the other video.
Oh, it's
You've
lovely.
been
Decal's lovely, staff are amazing.
And it's all vegan.
Yeah.
So they thought about
Phil went there
vegan
with
booze.
someone else. He didn't invite me.
I know.
DJ Decky.
Yeah. He's a really good guy.
Whatever, Decky. I knew him first.
So documentaries, not everybody wants to see the graphic details.
No.
But I think it's essential, and that's what we were talking about, is the fact that you have to actually share that graphic content, I think, because
Sometimes.
people want to push it under the carpet.
My husband will not look at anything I send him. He knows that it's going to be horrible and he doesn't want to stop drinking milk, basically. For me, it was important when I went vegan to find out all of the facts, because people question you all the time.
Yeah.
And so I went out of my way to look at documentaries and look at some graphic material. And do you know the other thing I always do is look up the opposing view. So I've looked at lots of videos of people talking about, and read articles about people saying, I was vegan and now I'm not vegan and this is why. And I've read all that because I think it's important to know what the balanced view is and still decide whether you're sticking to your decision and for the right reasons.
Yeah, so you're getting the bigger picture.
Yeah. And I think it's very important to be open to all of those other views.
I don't think you should dismiss them. I think Earthling Ed is great at that. I think he engages in intelligent conversation
You've got to
and
have
debate
intelligent
about stuff.
conversation, yeah. Well, no, and the thing is, you've got to make your own decision. It's no
Yeah.
good being forced to do anything. I don't know if you've ever smoked. I used to smoke and people went on and on about it. Yeah,
I never knew that.
Oh, I smoked so much. I smoked about 40 a day.
Did you?
At one point, yeah. And but everyone telling me, it's really bad for you. I knew it was bad for me.
Yeah.
I felt pain in my chest
Yeah.
most days, and I thought I was going to die of cancer any minute, but I still carried on smoking. But it wasn't people telling me to stop smoking that stopped me. It was something up here, and it's the same with anything you do. Going vegan, whether it's for a month or for the rest of your life, has got to be a decision from in your own head, not everyone else telling you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess that people need more time sometimes in certain situations, because we're not all the same, are we?
No.
I know, he says, losing his voice.
Right, Digipalo, how are you? Come on, Ken, it's up to me glasses. Getting information, and there was loads of documentaries that are influential, and I've liked some of them, and I've liked parts of them, and not all of them, but they're all useful in that soup of finding out the right bits of fact.
And some of them are quite different as well. We'll start with meat. It had a colon, other title, subtitle.
Is that a colon?
A colon.
And other parts of the digestive tract.
This is the BBC thing that was on a few weeks ago.
I haven't seen it. Oh, I did. It was the BBC. Yes, I did see it.
I was
Sorry,
really,
I lied.
The first 3 quarters, I thought, this is great. It's going in the right direction. It's really intelligent and kind of balanced. It wasn't totally pro-vegan, but it was exploring other options and exploring the debate as well. And then it nosedived at the end. Because
Fizzled.
I just thought it was a real shame that
What's that presenter's name? I've forgotten her name.
I can't remember, but I really like her.
Yeah.
She was continually asking questions throughout the whole documentary, but she knew the answers because she knew that veganism was the answer.
But I remember having a conversation with you about this, and I found the whole thing actually pretty clever and very good.
Yeah.
The fact that it was on mainstream BBC.
Oh, that was amazing. Yeah.
And it didn't dip into that, oh, so everyone's got to do this. It was actually here's some facts, and it was quite light in terms of some of the documentaries that are around.
It didn't show any graphic detail. It didn't show any, until the end,
No.
it didn't show any animal abuse. But then I was disappointed by her after asking all those questions and seemingly finding the answers with the route that they were going.
Her lack of commitment to anything.
Well, it was just that she played a part in consuming dead animals. And I thought that was a real shame, because I thought that she was going in the right direction, and then she played a part in...
Maybe. I actually think, whatever, but that was her own personal journey. I think it was quite useful in that it was on mainstream TV, and it probably was watched, and people stayed watching it,
and
to
people
the end
asked questions
that wouldn't normally.
Yeah.
And I think it would help in that way. Because I think if you just went too far, and so now I'm vegan, and you've all got to go vegan, I think people would just go, oh yeah.
I guess it would have been, it would have been a vegan documentary as opposed to asking questions.
Because the biggest criticism of any vegan-based documentary that comes up, that people say, oh, well, it's made by vegans.
Yeah.
But actually, that's kind of the point.
So did you see it as more pro-vegan than not?
I did, but subliminally, rather than here's a vegan documentary. It was like, let's look at some of the facts. I haven't seen a documentary that I feel like is going at it with just facts and being very, very low-key about it and very scientific. I think even that one, she was quite emotional and she was weeping and looking at the Amazon rainforest. I think they could do without that. We could do with someone who's a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more, I'll say a bit more David Attenborough about it. Here's the thing, here's another thing, and here's a thing, and this is
like hard
what's
facts
happening.
as opposed to the sentiment.
Yeah, I don't like too much sentiment in it because it feels like we're emotionally blackmailing people. I don't like that. And I think there's a lot of that in the documentaries.
I think that's why I was surprised that she kind of almost went in the other direction at the end, because I just thought, you're emotional about what you know is the problem.
Yeah.
Yet you would still play a part in killing an animal and eating it. It just felt,
But
to me,
I
it
think
just felt
a
like
lot
that was shoehorned in.
But
at
I
the
do
end.
think a lot of people will relate to that because they kind of think, oh, no, I know, I kind of don't want to eat this, but I want to eat it. And I think that's good that people...
I just wish that hadn't been the end of the documentary.
Your
I
dog's
think
trying to...
he's playing a part in it. He's saying
Teddy.
animals all the way. He's saying respect animals because they are sentient beings.
I think Teddy needs to be in
Teddy
on this
does. So Teddy is a rescue
camera.
dog for people that haven't watched videos before.
Films.
Yeah, What the Health is really good.
Yeah. I quite like What the Health until a certain point, and then it got a bit preachy and annoying at the end. That was my thing. But other people have said it's amazing.
Right.
I would watch that.
Do you think it needs to be a bit preachy? Oh, I guess what you were saying before, it doesn't always have to be...
It just tipped over the edge for me.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be more scientific. But it was good.
Talking of... I mean, it's not a documentary, but I really enjoyed Simon Amstell's
Carnage.
Carnage.
That's my top
which
tip.
I think is really effective, but it's done in a comedic way.
Yeah.
Which I think is the key.
That is my top tip for anyone.
Yeah.
Carnage, look it up, by Simon Amstell.
Really good.
It's hilarious, but and actually I watched it without really knowing what it was about, and then like halfway through I thought, oh god, this is that.
But I think that's more a reflection on how vegans are treated and veganism, how it's portrayed, rather than portraying the facts.
Yeah, it's you know, satirical and and just funny and entertaining, and it sort of takes the piss out of everything. And he is brilliant. I think that's a really good one to watch.
And a good film to watch is Okja.
Oh yeah,
it's so sad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did you not like it?
I did. I loved it.
Yeah,
I loved it. I sat and watched it. We used to do Airbnb, and we watched Audrey. She came. She was from Sydney. She is from Sydney, she's not dead. And she came to stay. If you're watching, Audrey, hi. Audrey came to stay, and we said, oh, let's watch Okja. And then we both sat there, and when it finished and the credits were rolling, and I was vegetarian at that point, not vegan, I think. And I said, are you going to go vegan now? And she went, yep, straight away.
Amazing. See, I think something like that can have more of an effect. Simon Amstell's documentary was done in a comedic way, but I think it was quite factual as well.
It's very factual, but it's not actually. You don't think it's a documentary.
Yeah,
it's a mockumentary.
I suppose it was, wasn't it? It
serious.
was more...
It's serious, but a mockumentary, which I think is clever. Anyway, but Okja is another brilliant one.
Yeah, it's really good.
And of course, Cowspiracy. The latest one that's got everyone's attention is Game Changers.
Yeah, oh yeah, that was great.
I really enjoyed that. People have criticised the science behind it, but it's quite thought-provoking.
Yeah.
And I think all of them are a bit biased in some way or another, obviously, but you've got to just be intelligent with it and think through the bias and see the facts that are there.
And all you have to do is look on Twitter and see the reaction of people that once ate meat and dairy, and they're like, all of a sudden, I've seen game changers. I'm vegan, or I'm even thinking about going vegan.
My friend Luke Aziz, built like a brick shithouse, muscles wider than my legs, which is saying something. And I said, "Oh, have you seen Game Changers?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "I'm vegan now," and that was it. It's like that. And he's been vegan for a month and a half, and it's just that it's fine, straightforward. It was a no-brainer for him.
Because a lot of people want bigger erections. We'll see what
last longer. You have to watch the film to know what that's about. But that was the science of it. They tested 3 blokes, for their erection size and length number of erections in one night, wasn't it?
Yeah. But I think it's funny because people do think that's one of the most important parts of the documentary.
Of their bodies.
Well, yeah. It's obviously plays a big part in people's lives.
So there you go. So if you want a big erection, go vegan.
Yeah.
If you're a woman, find another reason. So there we go. What else? So they're the shows to watch.
Yeah, and I think there are some good ones out there.
Well, if you don't want to watch those, watch the EastEnders Omnibus. Because there's a lot of shouting going on in that. And there'll be a really massive close-up of Sharon going,
"We slept together."
And you can watch that if you don't want to watch any of the documentaries that we just talked about. Close the show, Phil.
Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Good luck with Veganuary. If you're new to veganism, don't forget we are doing daily videos throughout January. And on the next video, we're not drinking a bottle of wine, Vingoodwin.
No. Happy Veganuary, and click the nip. Good luck.